with the regular show coming back, I thought it was finally time I reviewed the series and the movie. So uh, today we're just going to talk about the series. Then we'll talk about the movie probably next week. Um, I I guess we'll start with some backstory about where regular show came from. And then we'll talk about my history with the show. Regular show came at a time in Cartoon Network's history, and this is why this show is so beloved. Part of the reason why this show is so beloved, where Cartoon Network had decided they wanted to be like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, where they had live action shows, and they got rid of all their animated content. Pretty much gutted it, besides some acquired content like Lego Ninjago and a couple other things were airing on the channel. But everything else was gone, and that didn't work. It ended up backfiring, so they went back to animated content. They greenlit Adventure Time and regular show, and they kind of premiered at the same time and were gigantic hits. And it's very easy to see why these shows kind of ushered in an animation renaissance. Adventure Time, for very obvious reasons, it's such a weird, bizarre, unique show that was able to be so creative and different that really inspired a lot of artists to do very unique and creative different things. Regular show kind of inspired artists in the sense that this show is a show meant for children with a lot of very adult jokes and references that they'll probably never understand, but because it's weird and wacky enough, kids enjoy it and adults like it even more. And I think that's something very special about this show. But yeah, that's kind of the history with the show. My history with this show is a little bit weird. Kind of like the Powerpuff Girls. I saw the movie before I really major started watching the show. I don't remember how I saw the movie. The movie is a fun movie. Like, it's super entertaining. We'll talk about that in another video, um, but I was like, man, this is good. I should start watching the show, and then didn't for years, and then finally did. But yeah, like, I never really majorly watched the show. I think my parents were kind of iffy about letting me watch Cartoon Network because they were like, well, okay, this Adventure Time show is really weird. It's kind of annoying. Regular show, I don't think they cared too much, but it definitely didn't look like a kid's show. So, I don't know. But I finally watched all 8 seasons on Hulu. Which, by the way, I was very annoyed about this. Quick little rant here. As I started my binge months ago, they announced a complete series set, which I'm gonna buy because you can't watch the movie anywhere on streaming. But very fucking irritating that this show that I really like um, is like so hard to watch on streaming because like it's um, like you have to watch it with Hulu and you have to do the ads thing. But then, so I was hoping they do a complete series set, but like I'd already been about 7 seasons, 6 seasons in before they announced that set. So like buying a set just to finish the last 2 seasons would have been like, okay, I'd have to stop my binge and wait for it to come out. I was like, okay, I'm not doing that. So I'm still gonna get the set, but it's just a little annoying. Anyways, quick little rant over. I think why I love this show, honestly, watching it is just insane to me how adult this show is. I mean, this show pretty much gives the vibe that it's set in the 80s, but not really. Like, it could kind of be set at any time. There's a lot of old technology, old references, uh, iconography of old things in the show, a lot of 80s music in the show, which is really cool. You don't really see a lot of kids' cartoons like this that have, like, a lot of licensed music like that, but there is in the show, and it works out really well. And it's pretty great. And there's a lot of great humor in the show, with certain characters and dialogue and stuff. It all really works. I think what I enjoy most about this show, though, is surprisingly, I really enjoyed seeing the characters grow. Because this show starts out with the simple premise of you have Mordecai and Rigby, the two slacker bros. They just kind of hang out, do whatever. But as the show progresses, you realize, oh, these are just slacker bros, yes, but they're also like really genuine people and, and relatable antics, but it's so silly and goofy at first. But as the show goes on, you realize, hey, Rigby really has grown up as a person. Mordecai has learned a lot from his relationship failures for good or bad reasons. And Eileen changes as a character. Skips changes as a character. Benson changes as a character. Everybody grows by the end of the show. And it all crescendos in a really great finale to this show in one of its worst seasons. Yeah, I'm saving the worst for last. But that aspect of the show was really beautiful to me. I mean, by the end of the show, you see them age, and it's Mordecai and Rigby just sitting there going, man, I can't believe we used to do that. And it's like, wow, this show really grew up with its audience. This show ran for 8 seasons, so it was pretty much around over 8 years, I think this show ran. It's crazy. I think, now let's talk about the worst aspect of this show. I think most people agree this is the worst aspect of this show, season 8. So, spoilers for the show, basically, at the end of the season 7, the park crew gets sucked into space, which is a very bizarre plot line. And basically, it's business as usual in space. Like, yes, they want to go back to Earth, but most of the season is the normal shit they would do on Earth, but in space, which makes you, why the fuck are we in space? Other than maybe the show been running for 8 seasons, so they're kind of tired of, not of doing the same shit, so they're going to space. But it's just so bizarre and strange, and I don't really get why they chose to go that route. And then I think like the last 5 or 6 episodes, they start doing this thing where they're like, hey, there's this battle, Pops is gonna fight Anti-Pops, and all that lore, I knew was a thing before I watched the show, because I've seen people talk about the finale of the show before. I think I actually watched the finale as it aired, just the last few minutes of it, I don't remember. But anyways, it aired, and I was watching it and I was just like, okay, but I thought they built up to this for the whole season, because like that would make sense. You built up to all this lore. No, it's just kind of thrown towards the end of the season randomly, and then Pops has to go fight Anti-Pops, and it's a great finale. Pops dies, very sad stuff. But I was like, what the fuck? It just all came out of nowhere, and you're just like, okay, I guess we're doing this. So I didn't really care for this season. I don't think it was bad. Like, a lot of fans really don't like this season. I get it. It's definitely very flawed, but I'm just confused of why they chose to go that route with the space plot line. Other than, I guess, maybe they were out of ideas, which makes it kind of awkward that they're bringing the show back now, because you got a show that ran for 8 seasons that basically went so insane that they pulled a Fast and Furious and fucking went to space. I don't know. I like this movie, or this show, quite a bit. I love this show, honestly, after watching it the whole way through. It really is a special show. So much unique things to offer, but yeah. Let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe.